today. I wanted to add to the list of the asks of the Minister on behalf of the Gujarati community that I'm proud to represent. Firstly, to focus on flight links to Gujarat. There has been a direct flight from Heathrow to Gujarat, but the scale of the travel needs of Gujaratis here in the UK, we're, as I understand it, the third largest home in terms of the Gujarati diaspora worldwide. And anything that the UK government can do, particularly on the back of perhaps discussions around the third runway, to encourage more direct flights to Gujarat, would be extremely helpful to many of my constituents. On visas, many of my constituents still experience difficulties helping their relatives who want to come and visit, particularly at Diwali or for other reasons. So perhaps the consulate in Ahmedabad could offer advice sessions to the family members of our Gujarati community on what they need to do to have a decent chance of getting their applications being processed. And the last figures I saw suggested that over 60,000 applications for visas were being turned down from India. And given the size of the Gujarati community, I suspect many of those, the vast bulk of those, are people hoping to come from Gujarat to visit relatives here. The Honourable Gentleman for Harrow East mentioned the teaching of Gujarati, and I think it's time that we looked at providing some funding, be it through government sources or through lottery sources, to support the many Saturday schools that are key to the numbers of children who take GCSE Gujarati and, crucially, A-level Gujarati, which is, has a very small number, relatively speaking, of applicants. Many of the mandirs that the Honourable Gentleman mentioned facilitate those Saturday schools at some considerable expense. But other community organisations often have to provide it, and it is in these hard times in which we're increasingly expensive to provide the teaching and book the facilities to do so. Lastly, of the main sort of 5 asks I wanted to focus on, I don't understand why there aren't more trade missions to Gujarat to take advantage of the substantial business links that already exist. Gujarat is the economic powerhouse of India, but we shouldn't be frightened about turning to the talents of those British Gujaratis here to unlock further business opportunities for our country in Gujarat. I have to say I've been disappointed with the government's unwillingness to support the campaign for Diwali and indeed Eid to be recognised as a national day. At the very least, if the government weren't willing to move on its opposition to making those days public holidays, having conversations with business organisations to encourage businesses to be sympathetic to requests for time off at those most important spiritual days for the Gujarati community would be extremely helpful. And then, as the Minister may know, the Jains and indeed the Zoroastrians, who are part of the Gujarati community in part in the UK, do not get proper recognition on the census. And both have been running campaigns to get onto the 2021 census, to have their religions properly respected. And it would be good to see the Minister use his influence to unlock a more common sense response from the Office for National Statistics on that point. I think of the Gujaratis in my community through the eyes of the businesses and services that they provide, from The garage directly opposite my office, run by the Halai family, came over from East Africa, but with a home in the Kutch area of Gujarat. They provided jobs to people in my constituency and provide a hugely appreciated service through their garage. They're active in the Sri Kutch Lever Patel community that does so much in northwest London. I wish it was based in my constituency, their premises, but sadly it's in Northolt. They have secured planning permission for a fantastic new India Gardens project, and I wish their trustees well in turning their vision for that into a reality. Also linked to SKLPC are the Vicaria family, who run the Vascroft business. Contractors. They build temples, but they build hotels and many others, and they employ huge numbers of people. Are well known in the building community. And again, this was a business set up by two brothers from East Africa, but again with huge links to Gujarat in January 1977, and it's a family business still. It has great values and based in Park Royal, but all of us will have, those of us from North West London, all of us will have constituents who work for Vascroft. Or indeed, there's Sandip Ruparelia, linked to the International Siddharasam Centre in Harrow, which is, I suppose, my home temple in my constituency, and the ISKCON Foundation of Bhaktivedanta Mana. Again, based originally his family in Tanzania, but with very strong links to Gujarat. He arrived here in the UK in March 1980 and now runs a huge business, amongst other things providing banqueting facilities, but perhaps important, perhaps crucially in the context of the debate I suspect we're going to have over the course of the next 8 weeks in terms of the future of our public services. He runs very important care home services, which provide much valued services to the elderly in my constituency and beyond. And he now employs 2,500 staff and generates substantial tax revenues for our economy as well. Again, an example of a member of the Gujarati community who recognises his responsibilities to the country in which he lives, but has kept his links to Gujarat. Is hugely proud of them as well. Or there's the Demecha family, who are part of the Lahana community. Again, strong links to Gujarat, but have helped the Lahana community in the UK, part of the Gujarati diaspora, to set up 2 centres, both, I'm pleased to say, in my constituency. Much appreciated, huge cash and carry business run by Pradeep Demecha and his family now, again generating substantial tax revenues for the UK economy. Or there's the Solanki family, again a northwest London Gujarati family, originally came over from East Africa. They run the Asian Media Group. The father, Mr. Solanki, originally came over in 1964. Business now run by the second generation, with a third generation of Gujaratis actively involved in taking that very successful media business forward. But each of the individuals that I've referenced so far are fiercely proud of their Hindu faith, and all have links to many of the Mandias, be they parts of the Swaminarayan family or indeed other temples in the area. But I also want to acknowledge the contribution of Gujarati Muslims in my constituency. The superb Dr. Murali, a local GP and entrepreneur, a trustee of the Mehful Ali Mosque in North Harrow, provides hugely important public services as a GP and through the work with nurseries that he does, but is engaged in a whole series of other fundraising projects to support those in need, both in the UK as well as back home in Gujarat. And I'm also, lastly, privileged to host the headquarters of the Zoroastrian community here in Rayners Lane in my constituency in the UK. Firstly, proud of their links to Gujarat. Firstly, proud of the fact that the first MP from an ethnic minority background was a Gujarati Parsi. And again, we should acknowledge the huge contribution that the Zoroastrians have made as part of the Gujarati community to life here in the UK. But all of those Gujaratis have in different ways support for the 7 different asks, reasonable asks of government, and I hope the Minister will take them seriously in his response.